1990, Olaf Mante became the first Porsche Carrera Cup Germany champion. Since then, 349 races at 36 different tracks in 12 different countries, featuring 73 different winning drivers, have all raced in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. And now, in our 32nd season, we get ready to start the 350th race for the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Monza. This is just the second time ever that Porsche Carrera Cup Germany has come to this circuit. We were last here in 1991, and since then, as we've said before, we have raced all around the world, but it's great to be back here again. Larry Tenforder was the winner in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup in 2020. In fact, he clinched the championship here in the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup Championship. And he starts from pole position for this race today. We had a race yesterday, and he won that one from pole position. He's looking to make it 2 out of 2. He has returned to his customary place at the top of the points championship, and he is doing all the right things that he needs to get on top of this championship once again, because last weekend at the Red Bull Ring, Lauren Heinrich jumped in front and came into this weekend at the top of the championship. Heinrich finished second yesterday, ahead of Ayhan Chan-Guven, who finished third. And along with Leon Köhler, who won at the Red Bull Ring last weekend, these are the main drivers that are going to be competing for the championship. And there he is, our pole sitter, Larry Tenforder. He's the defending champion in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, and he is having to work very, very hard. Anybody who thought that he was going to have it easy this year were very much mistaken. Alongside him, the number 53 car for Phoenix Racing is Ayhan Chan-Guven, and he was the first Turkish winner in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany back at Oschersleben in the middle of May. So the drivers are on the grid at the moment, and very shortly we will be getting the engines started. There you can see 350 races. That's what we're celebrating today. What an achievement for this series. Lauren Heinrich, who starts third on the grid, and 350 races of pure entertainment. Yesterday, history was made because Carlos Rivas won in the Pro-Am category, and he became the most successful driver in Pro-Am history, winning 35 times. And Rolf Nijkaan's long-standing record of 34 wins was finally beaten. There's Leon Köhler, who starts fourth on the grid for this afternoon's race. So Carlos Rivas, the most successful driver in Pro-Am history. So already history has been made. Christopher Zirkling there in the number 27 car, and he starts fifth on the grid for FAC Autotech, and he's returned to the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Hello, Christopher. He's returned to Porsche Carrera Cup Germany this year and has been very successful in doing so. Rudy van Buren had a good qualifying, and he starts alongside sixth on the grid in the Cartech Motorsport by Nigrin. And Rudy van Buren will be looking to improve on his best result so far, which was yesterday, and that was a P7 in race 1. So this is going to be race 8 of a 16 race series. So unbelievably, after this weekend, we'll be halfway through. After this, we head off to Zandvoort in the second week of July, then to the Nürburgring, to Sachsenring, and to Hockenheim for the season closer. We are at Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, a wonderful historic circuit. We're about 15 kilometers northeast of Milan. The circuit was built in 1922. It was the world's third purpose-built motor racing circuit after Brooklands in the UK and Indianapolis in the USA. And it is a wonderful circuit. It is 5.793 kilometers around. That equates to about 3.6 miles. You can see the winner's trophy there for this 350th race. And very shortly, the cars get rolling. Here we go on their formation lap. This circuit, which has 11 turns, 7 to the right and 4 to the left. A historic circuit. Track limits, as always, are the issue of the day, especially in turns 1 and 2, the Retafiglio. In turns 4 and 5, the Variante della Roggia. and the historic Parabolica, which is turn 11. All of those have seen issues with track limits during practice and qualifying, but yesterday in the race, the drivers were very well behaved, and as far as I'm aware, we didn't get any penalties as a result of track limits. Weather conditions are very good indeed. It has been boiling hot here in Monza this weekend. Currently, the temperature's dropped by about a degree from this morning. It's clouded over just a little, 29.7 degrees centigrade. Here we go, Larry ten Voorde alongside Ayhancan Guven, Lauren Heinrich, Leon Köhler, Christopher Zirkling, Rudy van Buren, Maurice Schuring, the youngest ever driver in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, alongside Max van Splunteren and Rudolf Rien and Kim Hauschild. That's a great qualifying effort for Kim Hauschild. Oh, sorry, that's a bit further down, Kim Hauschild. The graphic has changed there, so Kim Hauschild starting down in 20th place. We saw the name of Bastian Buus flashing up 10th on the grid, and Bastian Buus, who celebrates his 18th birthday here today. These drivers, they don't all start young. He's one of the talent pool drivers. There are 8 drivers in this series who are part of the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany talent pool, and that is a group of drivers that are coached and mentored by former Porsche works driver Wolf Hensler. And Bastian Buus has been a standout performer on this, his 18th birthday. We've seen him scoring very well this year. Another driver, the youngest, we've mentioned already, Maurice Schuring, and he has taken to Monza like a duck to water. And Maurice Schuring, who starts 7th on the grid for this race, is the leading rookie driver. And he has been very, very impressive. He is 16 years old. To come into Porsche Carrera Cup Germany is no mean feat, and he has impressed very much over this weekend. Our leading Pro-Am driver is Kim Hauschild. We mentioned him already. He starts 20th on the grid, and he is in front of Carlos Rivas, so that's a good effort by him. So lots to be thinking about this weekend. The heat means that tyres are a big issue, and due to the high-speed nature of this circuit, there's a lot of stress on these tyres already, so the heat just adding to that. Also, the curbs have very sharp edges on the inside, and drivers need to be careful not to pick up a puncture on those sharp curbs. We have Sebastian Freimert, who is guesting this weekend, and Felix Neuhofer, who's sitting in for Sebastian Glazer. But apart from that, very much as you were, 29 cars on the grid, ready for the start of this, their second race from Monza. And it's so good to be back here after all of these years, ready for this, which is race 8 of a 16 race season. So the remaining cars just forming up on the back of the grid. There is heat into the tyres and into the brakes, and very, very shortly we will wait for the 5 red lights to go off and the 3 green lights to come on, and the pack will head towards Variante del Rettifilo, which is turns 1 and 2, the chicane. And when the cars are up to full speed, that is the fastest part of the track, top speed of about 270 kilometers an hour. So a really quick circuit. This place is, that was a very quick start from a driver further back. Was that Bastian Buus? That looked very much like a jump start. The headlights are on these cars. That caught us all snoozing a little bit. So the cars are running, and that was a very shambolic start. It's Ayhancan Guven who leads into turn 1. And that caught us all snoozing. Bastian Buus looked like he was gone before anybody else. And there is Christopher Zirkling, who goes spinning. He keeps the power on, points it in the right direction. So the 350th race for Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, getting off to a slightly chaotic start. Pole sitter Larry ten Voorde down into second. Bastian Buus is already up into third. Surely that was a monumentally jump start. We will keep an eye on the timing screens, but it's Ayhancan Guven who leads the way from Larry ten Voorde and Bastian Buus. You saw Christopher Zirkling having that moment into turns 1 and 2. I was me busy telling you about how quick this circuit is, and they got the cars running straight away. So the temple of speed is Monza, and as you can see, the cars are well on their way for lap 1. If Bastian Buus did anticipate that start, then it was lightning reactions, but I have a feeling the stewards might have something to say about that. We'll look at a replay of that as the cars continue along the Curva dei Seraglio down towards Variante Ascari, which is a left-right left, which is turns 8, 9 and 10 very close together, and then towards the historic Curva Parabolica, and you can see the old circuit in the background as the cars come round to turn 11. Right, so here we go. There's lots of challenging going on further down the field. It's Ian Guven and Leo Köhler making a move on Bastian Buss. That is for third place. Lauren Heinrich trying to follow through as well. So Bastian Buss ready. He was in third place, now looking to be relegated down to fifth. Running side by side, Lauren Heinrich, the young pretender to the throne. Bastian Buss celebrating his 18th birthday today. Clearly, he's in party mood and he wants to get going with this race, but he slots into fifth place as Lauren Heinrich takes that position away. Now look at Larry Tenforder. He was caught napping at the start. Still no indication of any jump starts, as that looks like, is that Zirkling going straight on? Certainly one of the cars goes straight on through the chicane, and that is not the quickest way around that series of corners. So whoever that was, they are going to drop back. Ian Guven leading the way from Larry Tenforder. Leon Köhler. Now look at this, Loic Hartog. He is another of the talent pool drivers who's coming through, and that is on the trying to put a challenge on Jesse van Kooijk. That is for ninth place. Jesse van Kooijk and Loic Hartog. And look at Hartog there, just using all of the track, finds a gap on the inside. The two cars make contact, and Van Kooijk just picking it up and keeping it pointing in the right direction. But Loic Hartog is through. Jesse van Kooijk getting it all wrong, and they'll be interested to see whether the stewards have anything to say about that as well. So Hartog is up in position and into P9. Gosh, there's a lot of action here. There's 30 minutes of racing for this entire race, as Maurice Schuring is the next to move on Bastian Buss, and a drive-through penalty for Bastian Buss. It was a jump start, so the car number 99 has a drive-through penalty. We thought that might have been the case. He wasn't just a few seconds earlier. It's Sandra Kaibach into the barrier there. That looks like it's been quite a big impact. So Sandra Kaibach, good to see him getting out of the car. Now the question is, will this bring out a safety car? Because that Porsche is stranded against a barrier, and we may well get a safety car here. And yes, the yellow flags are waving, and no indication yet of a safety car, but the yellow flags, certainly not on the timing screen, but I would suggest that the safety car is out for this. So Ian Guven leading the way. We've lost Sandra Kaibach as a result of an impact there, and you can see confirmation that Bastian Buss, yes, finally the safety car. You can see Buss, I mean, that wasn't just a jump start. I mean, he checked out of there before anybody had even thought about it. So Bastian Buss, that drive-through penalty is going to drop him to somewhere near the back of the field. So that's such a shame. Buss has been such an entertainer this year. You can see that scramble into turn one, and you can see Zirkling getting it all wrong. Now, whether he was helped or not, very difficult to see from this angle. And it looked like, yes, there was a little bit of contact from the car behind. So Christopher Zirkling getting a helping hand, and he keeps the wheels spinning and keeps it going. And it looked like Maurice Schuring who got into the back of the Christopher Zirkling car. And again, the stewards will be looking at that. They will have all sorts of angles and data on that we don't, and they will reach their own conclusions on that. And this was that move from Loic Hartog on the Van Kooijk car. And you can see there was a little bit of contact, and Van Kooijk gathers it up, keeps it pointing in the right direction, and that's not the sight that you want to see. And the big winner in that was Antonio Teixeira in the number 19 car. He's had a good weekend here in Monza this weekend. He's had a slightly difficult start to Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, but has really found his feet at Monza. He loves this circuit, and it's been good to see Antonio Teixeira in the number 19 car, featuring well and hoping for a good result this weekend. So there's Sandra Kaibach, that car looking distinctly second-hand up against the fence. The safety car is out. The drivers clearly not allowed to do any overtaking, and doing what they need to do to keep heat in the tyres and in the brakes. Ian Guven leading the way. So Ian Guven caught Larry Tenforder napping. In fact, caught all of us napping, apart from Bastian Boos, and he was so quick out the gun. The rest of the cars had barely formed up on the grid, and he's like, right, I've had enough of this, I'm on the move. But that drive-through penalty, which he will have to take once we go back into green flag conditions, will hurt him badly, because this safety car has bunched the field up, so when he peels off into the pit lane, there's going to be an awful lot of cars that come through, and he will be relegated. So Bastian Boos, his best results so far has been a couple of fifth places, and that was at the Red Bull Ring last weekend. And he has been such an entertainer, never gives up, always in there, always pressing hard. At Oschersleben, he collected a wheel off a crashed car at high speed, completely rearranged the front end of that Porsche, and then proceeded to go faster and faster, and clearly not one to be slowed down. As you can see, a car's locking up, coming into the corner just a little bit too quickly. And drivers need to be very careful, because when there's marshals on the track and recovery vehicles on the track, to be speeding through a yellow will not win them any favours at all. So the incident between Maurice Schuring and Christopher Zirkling has been reported to the stewards, so they will be looking at that. Bastian Boos, who currently circulates in 7th place, but will have to serve that drive-through penalty once we're green. And here's a replay of the traffic jam around the recovery of the Sandro Kaibach car. So that is definitely a bit of an issue there. And that was, I believe that was Sebastian Framert, the guesting driver, who had locked up there. So it's all drama. We are approaching the 1/3 distance in this race. It's a half-hour race, the second of the 2 races this weekend here at Monza. The headlights are on the cars because after some very hot and sunny weather, it's starting to get a little bit murky and a little bit darker. We're not anticipating any rain, certainly not during this race, but the temperature is dropping, and this big field of Porsche 911s look fantastic. It is wonderful to be back at the Temple of Speed. These cars look magnificent around here. This is pure racing. All the cars identical. It's the new Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car, and it's the first racing version based on the current 992 generation. 510 horsepower compared to 485, which was last year. And these cars are 4-litre naturally aspirated, water-cooled, flat 6 boxer engine mounted in the rear of the car, of course, and they are a wider, kind of more muscular look, on an aggressive design than last year's. Cars can run on synthetic fuels, which is very much the future, running on control tyres with very restricted setup options, and that has been very much an issue here, because running to Porsche Carrera Cup Germany regulations, they have very limited camber that they're allowed on these cars, and that's going to be very much the case at the next round as well, which will be in Zandvoort. So the car's very carefully restricted to keep the racing close, as we see the Sandro Kaibach car now safely on the other side of the barrier. So we would expect the lights to be off on the safety car very shortly. When that happens, control of the race will hand over to Ayhan Changuven, and it will be his job to firstly back the field up, because he will become the de facto safety car, and then to try and get the jump on Larry Tenforder by beating him on the accelerator. So Ayhan Changuven, who came into this weekend 3rd in the Drivers' Championship and very much in contention, will do his championship standings no harm whatsoever if things stay as they are. Our championship leader coming into this weekend was Lauren Heinrich. He's down in P4. Larry Tenforder is the championship leader after yesterday. You can see that Guven has already hit the accelerator, so he's anticipated this well. Safety car is in, despite what the graphics may be saying on your screen, and we are back under green flag conditions. It's Ayhan Changuven who leads the way. He's got a good jump on Larry Tenforder. Tenforder will now try and pick up a slipstream as they head in towards the corner. And here comes Larry Tenforda in towards turn one. He looks to the outside. If he could make it stick on the outside, of course, he'd have the inside once they'd got round this series of corners, but that's not going to happen. Leon Köhler, meanwhile, putting a bit of pressure on Larry Tenforda. A bit of a traffic jam behind. It looks like the cars have got round that series of corners all well, but Ayhan Şengüven has done exactly what he needed to do to get this race rolling and to continue in the lead. And the number 16 car of Dan Van Koyk is coming under pressure. We cut away from that as we look again at our leaders, and a big train of cars coming through. And there's the 19 of Antonio Teixeira in 9th place, with Loic Hartog in 10th place. So more challenges for position, and it's Julian Hanses who didn't have the best time in qualifying. His best result of the year so far has been a 4th place. So Julian Hanses currently showing down in 13th place, and he is one of the up-and-coming drivers and in the talent pool, and one to keep an eye on. And here he is making his move here at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. Here we are heading towards the Variante Ascari chicane, and then it's back on the accelerator towards the Curva Parabolica. So there's Köhler in the white car coming under increasing pressure, and that is Köhler not coming under pressure. That's Köhler who's put on the pressure because he has found a route past Larry Tenforda. So Köhler is up into second, so Larry Tenforda uncharacteristically going backwards, and it's not often that you see Larry Tenforda getting an overtaking move done on him. But Leon Köhler is up to second, and now Tenforda looking to return the compliment as they head up towards turn one, the first chicane. He ducks to the outside, under braking, he pulls alongside. This is going to be very tight. Köhler bumps across the curbing, and Larry Tenforda takes that second place back. Great bit of driving. There's a spinner further back. Now, is that Maurice Schuring? It certainly looks like him, but it might not be. And there's Bastian Buss. He served his drive-through penalty, and that has dropped him to the rear of the field, and that is an absolute tragedy. Now, who is that that's gone spinning? It is the number 16 car. So that was Dan Van Koyk who has gone spinning, and that is a real shame because he is dropping to the very back of the pack. He was in 11th place. We were looking at that move as Larry Tenforda retakes the second place. You can see Köhler bumping over the curbing, and then we look behind, and it looks as though it was Dan Van Koyk who just got it wrong. I don't think there was any contact from Julian Hanses. Again, the stewards will be looking at it. Car 31 is under investigation for overtaking under the safety car, and that is Sebastian Freimut, our guest driver. And overtaking under the safety car, of course, a big no-no, and he is likely to cop a fairly sizable penalty if that is proven to be the case. So here we go. It's Ayhan Şengüven who leads the way from Larry Tenforda and Leon Köhler and Lauren Heinrich. The rest of the cars comes through, and there's Christopher Zirkling. He had that spin earlier on. Now he's down in 17th place, and he's got Jesse Van Koyk just ahead of him, and he's got all that hard work to do. And coming through the field, not easy, because these cars, may I remind you again, are all absolutely identical. The only difference between them is setup, and there is no opportunity to come tearing through the field at high speed because the car in front is identical to yours. And you can see the cars coming through, and there's another one who has missed the chicane and has to take the windy route through that turn 1 and 2, catching a number of people out. We're over the halfway distance on this race. Our leader, Ayhan Şengüven, still plenty of fighting for places further back. That's Lucas Groneveld and Bastian Buss. So Buss has had to do a lot of hard work to come back through the field. And Lucas Groneveld continues, and it's not Bastian Buss, apologies, the identical car, Rudolf Rien. So Rudolf Rien, Bastian Buss is in fact quite a lot further back because Lucas Groneveld is in 13th place there. That's Rudolf Rien and Jesse Van Koyk that are in the mix there. Christopher Zirkling as well. And this is the fight for 14th position. So quite a scramble further back, and Bastian Boos is in fact a lot further back than that. He is all the way down in 27th after that drive-through penalty, and I would suggest that the chances of him picking up points today have now diminished significantly as a result of that penalty. So lots of identical cars out on the track, and Rudolf Rien is the leading one of the blue cars as we look at Christopher Zirkling sweeping around the outside of Lucas Grunewald, and that is for 13th place. Christopher Zirkling, who has been very rapid on his return to Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. He hasn't been in this series for a couple of years, and he's come back, and it's as if he's never been away. And that looks like Loic Hartog coming into the chicane and making a move on another of the talent pool drivers, Antonio Teixeira. And there's Zirkling. He is really struggling with that turn 1 and 2 this weekend, isn't he? Again, he takes a shortcut over the curbing. So Loic Hartog now has Teixeira putting the pressure back on him, trying to retake that position. And here, at such a high-speed circuit as Monza, the slipstream really does count for a lot. And Teixeira trying to pick up the slipstream and get that 8th place back from Loic Hartog. The yellow and black car that is in front of him in the background, Jukka Honkavori and Julian Hanses. So there's Maurice Schuring in 6th place, behind him Max van Splunteren, and then the battle that you're looking at now, Loic Hartog and Antonio Teixeira. So we're into the less than 12 minutes plus 1 lap of this race remaining. It's Ian Guven who leads the way from Larry Tenforda. He's opened up a gap of 1.482 seconds. So Ian Guven really stamping his authority on this race. And Tenforda about 4 tenths ahead of Leon Köhler. That's Felix Neuhofer in the number 33 car. And remember that he's sitting in for Sebastian Glazer in the Cartech Motorsport by Nigrin Porsche. And good to welcome him here. He's in 18th place, so making good progress. And there is Lucas Grunewald going very wide out of the corner. That might pick up the attention of the stewards. That's out of turn 11, the Parabolica. Almost made it onto the old bank circuit, the rate he was going at. Stewards will probably take a look at that because track limits very much the issue of the day. There's a car locking up into the corner. That's mega high speed in there, and that is again Dan van Koyk, or is it Grunewald? One of the cars. No, it's Lucas Grunewald who's steaming into the corner, smoke coming off the tyres. He would have flat spotted those, an absolute treat, and there'll be vibrations raging through the car as we look at Christopher Zirkling continuing his move through the field, and now looking at Fabio Citignola, another of the talent pool drivers. Fabio Citignola currently in 12th place, and shortly, by the looks of things, to be relegated to 13th because Christopher Zirkling, that spin at the start has really riled him, and he is a man on a mission as he works his way back through the field. So great driving from Christopher Zirkling, a real entertainer. And we look again at that Lucas Grunewald lock-up, and he really did take an awful lot of speed into the Variante del Rettifilio, the name of the chicane, which is turns 1 and 2. And he has to weave around those polystyrene blocks and rejoin, and that is certainly not the quickest way around that section of the track. So Loic Hartog still with his ongoing battle with Antonio Teixeira, and Teixeira in 9th place, and really pleased to see Teixeira finally getting to grips with that car as he looks to make a move alongside Loic Hartog. This is exactly the shot in the arm that Antonio needs. Here they run side by side up towards turn 1, the fastest part of the track, 270 kilometers an hour at 8,400 RPM under braking. Loic Hartog on the outside. That is going to become the inside as they exit the chicane. You can see Teixeira swinging the back end of the car up. Jukka Honkavori now rushing to join in, as is Julian Hanses. So this could get very tasty indeed. And Loic Hartog feeling the pressure behind, holding on to that P8 for all he's worth. Again, here comes Teixeira, looking But Loic Hartog has the racing line, so into the pits comes the Lucas Groeneveld car, and I should think that those are hexagon front wheels that they're looking at after that lockup. So they'll clump those away, and it does look as though Groeneveld's afternoon is over. So I thought that was Loic Hartog. That is in fact Luc Groeneveld. So number 15 car. Oh, we've got too many orange cars in this, haven't we? So he's into the pit. So clearly a technical issue there. And Lauren Heinrich is who we're looking at in 4th place. So look at Lauren Heinrich bumping over the curb, sparks underneath the car. And these Porsches, very strong, very robust, bouncing over the curbs. And there's Lauren Heinrich in 4th place. And you see how much stick these Porsche 911 can take. So there's your first 5 cars. Ehan Changuven, Larry Tenforder, and windscreen wipers going on the cars. So it looks like we have got a bit of rain. We weren't expecting any, but Ehan Changuven locking up into turn 1. So the conditions... And it is raining. You can see rain on the camera lens there. So the sunny, hot conditions that we've been enjoying all weekend have suddenly disappeared. And this is going to throw a real spanner in the works, because the cars are running on slick tyres. And the wet conditions, if that rain increases, we might see cars needing to stop for wet tyres. Although with less than 7 minutes of this race remaining, that would be unlikely. Conditions are still very warm. But the driver's now been caught out. Maurice Schuring is the next one who goes straight on, missing the chicane completely. So Maurice Schuring, who was in 6th place, loses a position. And Max van Splunteren goes sailing through. Another one of the orange, white and black cars. Max van Splunteren goes through into 6th place. So this is significant. This is our leader. And he locks the tyre up going into the corner. And not only... will that have flat spotted the tyre, but that would cause vibrations and all sorts of issues. And this wet weather catching drivers out. So Maurice Schuring, that's a replay of him getting it all wrong. He rejoins with too much damage done. There's another car we saw just behind the track coming off. This Christopher Zirkling in the number 27 car, currently in 12th place. Julian Hanses in front. Fabio Citignola has dropped back, so Christopher Zirkling has found a way past Fabio Citignola. And this weather, with a little over 5 minutes left, is throwing a real random element in. Now, it doesn't look as though the rain is too hard. So it's not as if we've got a thundery downpour. It's enough, though, to play tricks with the traction and make the drivers really have to drive with their fingertips. You can see Ehan Changuven leading the way. Larry Tenforder suddenly can sniff an opportunity to get back on the top step of the podium. 0.6 of a second was the gap, but you can see that has closed right up. Leon Köhler and Lauren Heinrich and Rudy Van Buren. And Rudy Van Buren, he's having a good weekend, isn't he? The best we've seen him go in a long time. And all the other cars closing up, ready to take advantage if there's any mistakes. Now Julian Hanses on Christopher Zirkling. Did Zirkling, who's currently in 11th place, did he take too much out of the tyres with that charge back through the pack? Because Julian Hanses, in these slippery conditions, is challenging Christopher Zirkling. He goes to the outside. Zirkling has the racing line through the chicane and continues on his way. So Loic Hartog, who is in 8th place, the PCC Benelux champion of last year, has moved across to Porsche Carrera Cup Germany with Jukka Hunkovori now breathing down his exhaust pipe, and Loic Hartog continuing to lead that queue of cars. These young drivers being tested as the conditions are very changeable in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. It really did look like it was a sprinkling of rain because a lot of the drivers not running their windscreen wipers. And there is Christopher Zirkling continuing on his way, and he has relegated Antonio Teixeira. So Teixeira, having had such a strong first part of the race, now in the closing stages is succumbing to some of the other cars. And there is a spinner, and that is the very unfortunate Sebastian Freimut, who's still under investigation for undertaking under
undertaking over the safety car, or even overtaking under the safety car. So Sebastian Framer currently loitering down in 22nd place. And that spin will have done him no favours at all either. You can see the rain is still coming down. Larry Tenforder is in front of Ayhancan Guven. We have a change of leader, so Larry Tenforder has found a route past and he's into the lead. Leon Köhler, third place. And Lauren Heinrich has also lost out to Rudy Van Buren. Van Buren, he's having such a good weekend. Now, here comes Lauren Heinrich back on Rudy Van Buren. So it's all changed, these weather conditions catching many of these drivers out. Larry Tenforder, he is a wily old fox. He doesn't make mistakes. He's found a route past Ayhancan Guven. He's looking to make it 2 out of 2 this weekend, having won the race yesterday. And Ayhancan Guven relegated into second place ahead of Leon Köhler. So plenty of fighting for positions going on. Jukka Honkavori and Christopher Zirkling. So Zirkling and Loic Hartog. So Zirkling continues on his mission forwards, and the 41 car, Jukka Honkavori, locking up into the corner. That's going to give Loic Hartog a bit of an opportunity. Can he seize that opportunity? He runs alongside Loic Hartog down towards the Varianti Ascari, and that's Rudy Van Buren, having had such a strong showing of things. Gets it all wrong. He's off the track. It doesn't look like he's got damage. He rejoins, but look at this, Leon Köhler now challenging for second position. So Leon Köhler putting the heat on Ayhancan Guven, but Guven's looking at Larry Tenforder. Guven is going to lose a position as he looked on the outside of Larry Tenforder, opens the door to Leon Köhler. Köhler goes deep into the corner, and now Rudy Van Buren's in there. Look at this, it's a five-way battle for the lead. So Rudy Van Buren, having had a bit of a moment, regathers it up unbelievably through into second place. What amazing driving from these young pilots. Larry Tenforder leading the way. Rudy Van Buren ahead of Ayhancan Guven. There's a minute and a half left of this race. It is absolutely thrilling because Rudy Van Buren, we've got a safety car. So the safety car is out, surely, and that is why it's Kim Hauschild who's up against the barrier. And looks like Hauschild has made contact. This race surely is going to finish under the safety car now. Wow, that was exciting. Rudy Van Buren, where did he come from? Seventh place has been his best result of the year so far, and charging through into second. We look again at a replay, and that is just two cars getting it wrong on the Parabolica. And I thought it was Carlos Rivas. So Carlos Rivas, our winner from yesterday's Pro-Am category and our most successful Pro-Am driver ever, getting together with Kim Hauschild. And this is going to be a Pro-Am race that Carlos Rivas doesn't win. And that's something you don't see very often because, oh, look at the state of that. And that's had the fire extinguisher on it. So Kim Hauschild, a lot of damage as a result of that contact. Looks like there's been a bit of a bonfire. Carlos Rivas into the pits. Not the way he wanted to celebrate his winning category from yesterday. Currently, Ahmed Al-Shahab, who is in 17th place, leads the Pro-Am category. And with the clock striking 0, I think we're going to be behind the safety car the remainder of this race. You can see there was a little bonfire going on underneath that number 7 Porsche. Cover it in fire extinguisher foam, get the fire put out. Fortunately, it doesn't look as though Kim Hauschild has any injuries, but he looks pretty fed up from his body language. So, this is almost certainly how the race is going to finish. Larry Tenforder leads the way. And I see that on track, it's Ayhancan Guven who's now running in second, and that might be because the drivers have had to revert back to the positions they were in just prior to the safety car coming out. They might have taken it back to the previous lap. So Guven re-inherits second place. What a chaotic finish. That was so exciting. 5 cars battling for the lead. Larry Tenforder in his customary place, and great driving from him, making the most of the changeable conditions. Ayhancan Guven looked to have this race pretty well under control until that rain came along. But second place, not a bad going, and he did take a win in Oschersleben, and he's had a couple of seconds and a couple of thirds this year, so that will do his championship no harm whatsoever. Rudy Van Buren, very much the man of the match, I have to say. He has driven absolutely brilliantly. Seventh place was the best he's scored so far, and running in second for a while. We're on the last lap, as predicted. The cars are going to cross the finish line behind the safety car. The safety car might peel off just prior to crossing the finish line, but this race is going to finish in this order. It'll be a win for Larry ten Voorde, Arjen Guven and Rudy Van Buren. Brilliant drive up to third place. It'll be Lauren Heinrich in fourth, Leon Köhler in fifth, Max van Splunteren in sixth, and then seventh, Maurice Schuring. And he will be the highest placed rookie, ahead of the recovering Christopher Zirkling after that early spin in eighth place. The highest finishing Pro-Am driver will be Ahmed Al-Shahab, who is 17th, ahead of Georgi Donchev, who's 18th, and Jan-Erik Sluten, who is 19th. So we're not going to go back to green flag conditions. We're on the last lap of the race. It has been exciting, and it looks like the rain shower, which caught us all by surprise, one of many surprises in the last half an hour or so, and it just came along and threw a spanner in the works towards the end. Bastian Buss, who had that drive-through penalty, has recovered to 20th place. Such a shame. On his 18th birthday, we really thought that he was going to feature well towards the front, but that jump start, and it wasn't just a jump start. I mean, he was gone before the others had even thought about it, and certainly wouldn't have taken much adjudicating to work out that was a jump start. So here we come. Safety car peels into the pit lane, but there will be no overtaking because we are under yellow flag conditions. It's Larry ten Voorde who wins 2 out of 2 on the return of the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany to the Monza circuit for the first time since 1991, when Andy Bouwensiepen, I got to pronounce that right, won the race. Larry ten Voorde knows how to win round Monza though, because he's raced here in the Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup, and he clinched the 2020 championship here, and he certainly knows his way around here. So the rain is falling, the COVID limited audience entertained. The cars will now come round and come into Parc Fermé. So a slightly anticlimactic end after such a great battle. The top 5 all together. That was exciting, and that's what we love about the Porsche Carrera Cup. These cars so equal, and it is down to driver skill. So Larry ten Voorde, having finished off the podium for the first time since 2019 back at Red Bull Ring last weekend, back to winning ways this weekend. It's 2 out of 2, 2 pole positions and 2 wins. And Larry ten Voorde cementing his position at the top of the points championship. So it doesn't look like the rain came too much, but it was enough to just unsettle the drivers and certainly livened up those last few laps, didn't it? So the car's just coming around towards Parc Fermé, and that brings our return to Monza to a close. There's your confirmed winner, Larry ten Voorde, ahead of Arjen Guven, who's given back that second place, ahead of Rudy Van Buren, Lauren Heinrich, Leon Köhler, Max van Splunteren, Maurice Schuring, Christopher Zirkling. What a recovery from Jukka Honkavori and Julian Hansis in 10th place. Then comes Loic Hartog, Antonio Teixeira, Rudolf Rin, Fabio Chitignola, Jesse van Kuik, Felix Neuhofer, Ahmad Al-Shahab winning for the Pro-Ams, ahead of Georgi Donchev, Jan-Erik Sluten. Bastian Buss recovers to 20th place ahead of Christoph Langer, Bashar Mardini and Sebastian Freimut. and Sebastian Fremer having a fairly lively time on his guest start, his second consecutive guest start for Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. He was at the Red Bull Ring last week. And Holger Harmsen, 24th and the last of the runners. The non-finishers were Carlos Rivas, Kim Hauschild, Dan van Kuijk, Lucas Groneveld, and Sandro Kaibach. And we're looking again at that move Larry Tenforder made around the outside of Ayhancan Guven. That was great stuff, sweeping around, and that was on the Parabolica. So Larry Tenforder really showing great courage and great skill, and that's how he took the lead. We didn't see that live, but in replay, you can see what a great move that was from Larry Tenforder, and that is what won him the race. So a very deserving winner here at the Templar Speed. And Larry Tenforder has every reason to be delighted. The driver from the Netherlands, who under normal conditions has a very vocal and lively fan club that accompany him around with lots of banners. Good to see the camaraderie amongst the drivers. The Larry Tenforder fan club can be heard and seen around the circuit, and they will be very eager for global conditions to return to normal so they can get back and continue on their noise. Really good to see. And Larry Tenforder, something of a hero in the Netherlands. And of course, next time out, we head to Zandvoort. That will be his home race, and it will be a brave man who goes up against him, because it's Zandvoort is our next round on the 9th to 11th of July. There's Ayhancan Guven getting the weight check. Rudy Van Buren, great driving for him through to third place. And Van Buren started 6th on the grid. Really loves this Monza circuit, clearly. So Larry Tenforder will be at Zandvoort for round 5, which will be races 9 and 10.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Great race. What was that? Emotional and rainy. Yes, I'm thinking it's really close between us.
Because when I see all in black, I'm already. Yes. No, I mean maybe you see.
So clearly some discussions going on amongst the drivers there. So Ayhancan Guven not looking overly delighted. Clearly he has some conversation to be had with Rudy Van Buren. So the 1, 2, 3 adorning their masks. Congratulations all around. That looked like Christoph Huber to me. Congratulating Rudy Van Buren in the Cartec Motorsport by Nigrin Porsche. Ayhancan Guven in the Phoenix Racing Porsche. And Larry Tenforder will have extended the Team GP Elite positions in their championship standings with 2 wins out of 2. Brilliant stuff. So the Netherlands, Zandvoort, the newly revised Zandvoort circuit with the big banked Arie Luijendijk corner. Can't wait to see that. Will be the next round. Then it will be the Nürburgring, Sachsenring and Hockenheim for the season closer. I'll focus on the podium for now. Rudy Van Buren in 3rd place. 2nd place, Ayhancan Guven. And the winner, 2 pole positions, 2 wins. Who can stop the Larry Tenforder steamroller as he takes the top step of the podium? And a representative from Team GP Elite will come to the podium and also pick up a trophy. And now we get ready for the national anthem. An anthem that is becoming very familiar in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. It's an anthem that many of us had never really heard before, but now it's becoming increasingly familiar in motor racing circles. Netherlands, they built them strong there. Larry ten Voorde in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, once again stamping his authority on this championship as he looks to defend the title that he won in 2020, that he came so close to winning in 2019. And it is a brave man who will bet against him doing it again in 2021, especially as the next round from the 9th to the 11th of July is coming from his home circuit of Zandvoort in the Netherlands. After that, we will head to the Nürburgring from the 6th to the 8th of August, to the Sachsenring, running in an anti-clockwise direction from the 1st to the 3rd of October. And then the season will close at Hockenheim from the 22nd to the 24th of October. And that will be a 16th and final race. Will it be Larry ten Voorde who clinches the Porsche Carrera Cup German Championship? Or will Arjen Guven? Or will it be Lauren Heinrich? Or maybe even that man, Rudy van Buren, who has found something very spectacular indeed this weekend. Arjen Guven bouncing across the curbs in slow-mo, second place. But the clear favourite for the championship once again. He momentarily lost a grip on that top points position in the championship after the Red Bull Ring. A very difficult weekend by his standards last weekend out. But in the rain here at Monza, he reasserts his authority in the Team GB Elite Porsche 911, the number 25 car of Larry ten Voorde.
The second one, once again on the podium, Georgi Dolcev. And the winner is Ahmad Al-Shehab. And the winning team is Emirates GT Racing, saying to Irisdar to come in here for the podium. Is someone else for the podium for the winning team? No one? Okay, so the anthem. Lift up the trophy, please, for the photograph. Lift up the trophy. With the trophy, please. For Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland. Okay. Here we go. Fantastic. And now it's time. Now it's time for the party. Let's go.